Like, there's a whole schism within the Sansha, within the Sansha's nation that we have no insight into. Like, when we see Sansha, we see Sansha. But if you pay attention, some Sansha are equated to being part of the Master's nation, and some of Sansha's attacks and actions are attributed to the, oh no. Nirvana. Shit, hold on. What are their names? Hold on. Hold on. True Deliverance. Vimoksha Chorus. That's what it is. Vimoksha Chorus. So there's a Vimoksha Chorus, which has explicitly been called out in certain world news as being like the cause of certain invasion or incursions. And presumably there are still master operations. For example, we don't actually know which of Sansha's nation ended up being in the Abyss. We also don't actually know the true nature of Master Kuvaki. I went over all of this in my Sansha video a while back too. Sentient also implies rogue drones. I think it implies that they intentionally were keeping it vague. I never run an incursion. Are they any fun? Okay. So, imagine, have you ever played WoW? Imagine if they came out with they came out with Molten Core, the first raid, right? It was fun. There's a lot of cool bosses, interesting mechanics, kind of rudimentary, but, you know, fun. And then they never came out with another raid again. But what they did was they made it so that running Molten Core continues to get you a huge amount of the currencies and stuff to be able to get the other stuff to do the other stuff. That is incursion. It is designed to be like an open world raid that was created 12 years ago, has been polished to a mirror shine in how to run it, and it's predominantly about execution. It's a great way to make money. It is pretty fun. It's a good way to get some good fleet activity, but you are running a 12-year-old raid.
Immortal.
Rice 152K14. Thank you. Welcome to thank you for joining us down the rabbit hole. What are the risks for being assimilated like the Borg? Technically, not much. What ship am I flying? The Paladin. Vimoksha is also an interesting word to use. Yes. Especially since their skin is true deliverance, and the implants that they created was Nirvana. So yesterday, rather than go live, I decided to make a recording of a chronicle. I believe that there are chronicles that get a lot of attention. There are very sexy chronicles that we talk about a lot. Everything from Inheritance, the Odyssey, the books. Well, technically 2 of those aren't chronicles, but you get what I'm saying. Like, there are these key pieces that we keep going back to and talking about. Jovian Wetgrave, whatever. So is Sansha Kavaki still alive? That is an interesting question. It is unknown if Sansha Kavaki is still alive. Master Kuvaki has returned and claims to be Sansha Kavaki. How about that for an answer? Yeah. Avoiding the ganks is a concern. Yeah. There is one who claims to be Sansha and to never have died. Exactly. So remember, so Sansha was driven out in like YC34, so like 90 years ago, and then he pops up and says that he's still there. Him. Now, what's interesting is that he's not the only person who has come back from the ancient past, or the past, and claimed to be still that person. Most recently, we have the leader of the Equilibrium of Mankind show up and give out a little message. So, yeah. Is it possible that the other is Sansha Kavaki? That is very possible. It is so possible. It is one of my leading theories that I continue to try to like weigh evidence against to prove or disprove. My theory is, now, first of all, there has been some evidence that has come out to show that like Sansha and the Drifters don't necessarily get along either. So that kind of like flies in the face of that. However, I posit this to you. Sansha Kavaki was deeper into the wormhole systems before anyone else. He was inside of the systems that would later become the Shattered Wormholes. That's how he discovered his personal wormhole. He had the portal device, which allowed him to go other places that normal people couldn't, and that's how he was able to access that. Presumably how he was able to access Triglavian space in the Abyss as well. Knowing all of that, Sansha Kavaki would encounter sleeper constructs. The centers in which the sleepers have their virtual reality system. Sorry, the sleeper enclaves where the construct is maintained. It would surprise me if Sansha could encounter one of those without attempting to corrupt it. I mean, hell, he tries to corrupt the multi-body tracking pylon in the Abyss. So my question is, what happened? Who won? When Sansha Kavaki made contact with the Enclaves, what happened next? That's one of my big questions. Oh, commute your flesh to dust. Yes. There's also reason to believe that the other had influence over some of the road drones. Then again, if it's really easy to just like, what if X is the other is the EVE Online equivalent of is blank a Time Lord, right? Like, I mean, you can kind of, is the other in charge of PKN? Is other in charge of Upwell? Is the other, so on and so forth. Like sure, maybe we'll find out. It seems unreasonable to suspect that Sansha would be unaware of the other at the very least. The story of the Triglavians and the Sansha is interesting. I do, like I said, I go into it in my other video, but the short of it is that I personally believe that a significant portion of the Svarog clade of the Dazbog subclade of the Svarog clade has been corrupted by Sansha. So not even all the Triglavians that we have seen are actually are fully Triglavian, and some of them are potentially Sansha under the control